Hey, what's up guys? Chris McCarthy here with Jump Rope Fit, and this is your workout of the day. Now before we jump into today's workout, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of these daily workouts. All right guys, today's workout is going to be a 15-minute AMRAP, and an AMRAP stands for as many rounds or as many reps within that 15 minutes. So you're gonna set a clock for 15 minutes, and we're gonna do a sequence of movements for a certain amount of reps for that total 15 minutes. And it starts off today with 20 kettlebell swings. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm going to grab a kettlebell. First off, I'm going to set it on the ground here, and we're going to go over some of the movement standards. Now, in a kettlebell swing, you want to start off with a nice squat stance, so hips a little bit wider than hip width apart, toes are pointed out slightly. You're going to go down, you're going to grab that kettlebell, you're going to initiate the first swing of that kettlebell, swinging it back between your legs. But first off, to actually get down into the position to go ahead and grab that initial kettlebell, you're going to hinge at the hips, knees are going to start to bend, you're going to track out those knees over the toes there. We don't want them caving inwards. Once you grab that kettlebell, like I said, you're in a nice squat position with that chest up. You're going to initiate it by swinging it back through your legs. From this position, now you're going to load up your glutes, you're going to load up those hamstrings, and you're using the power and the strength of your lower body to generate the power to then go ahead and bring that kettlebell all the way up overhead. Now we're going to do, there's a couple different ways you can do kettlebell swings. One is a Russian kettlebell swing that comes just about right around eye level. And then there's American kettlebell swings, which is what we're going to be doing today, which is all the way up over top. Ends up basically the bottom of that kettlebell is facing the sky. So you're using the power and the strength of your lower body. We are not pulling on the kettlebell with our elbows or our arms. We're not using our biceps. Really, the only function that our arms is doing in the kettlebell swing is just attaching that kettlebell to our body. So we're gonna have just a slight bend in our elbows the entire time, all the way up and then all the way back down. And you swing it back down, and once again, you're gonna load up the glutes, load up those hamstrings, and use the power and the pop of your hips opening up to thrust that kettlebell all the way up overhead. We're gonna go ahead down here, like I said, nice squat stance, knees are tracking out over the toes, chest is up, grab this kettlebell. I'm gonna initiate the first swing between my legs, use the power of my lower body to then go ahead and bring that kettlebell all the way up overhead. We're gonna end up doing 20 of these kettlebell swings. So make sure you are choosing a weight where you're able to do all 20 of these kettlebell swings unbroken. Once you've completed 20 of those kettlebell swings, then we're gonna go ahead and set this down off to the side. And now we're gonna pick up the jump rope, and we're either gonna do 80 single unders with the jump rope, or if you wanna intensify the workout, you can go ahead and do what's called double unders, and you'll do 40 of those, and that's 2 rotations of the jump rope for every jump. But first off, we'll start off with just the 80 single unders, guys. Now always make sure you're maintaining proper form here, guys. What that means is your feet are close together and we're jumping on the balls of our feet. So it's just a bounding motion, guys. We're really relaxed, chest up, shoulders back, and we're just bounding up and down, and we're clearing the ground 2, maybe 3 inches, just enough to be able to clear that rope underneath your feet. Once you initiate the first swing of that jump rope, just bounding on the balls of my feet. My shoulders are in a nice relaxed position, chest up, shoulders back. I'm very relaxed, staring off into the horizon here, guys. And you'll notice my elbows are in close to my sides, and I'm rotating that rope just with my wrists, and my hands are slightly in front of my hips. So a couple things here. I'd mentioned keeping those elbows in close to your sides. You wanna make sure your elbows are in close to your sides. If your hands start to trail outwards, what happens is you'll see that rope starts to come off the ground. So you're essentially shortening up that rope. What's gonna happen is you're gonna trip over that rope because it's gonna raise up and you're gonna hit your toes. Another thing I'd mention is rotating that rope just with your wrists. So we don't want a lot of movement at the elbow joint or at the shoulder joint. Keep those elbows in close to your sides, and it's just kind of an up and down whipping motion to rotate that rope just with the wrists. Also, hands slightly in front of your hips. As they start to come back, what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up striking the front of that rope on the front of your feet. So make sure those hands are always in front of your hips. Now you can go ahead and do 80 of those just 2-foot basic jump, guys. Or if you wanna intensify it, you can do what's called a run in place, alternating left, right, switch off to a boxer step. Or if you really want to intensify the workout, you can go into what's called a double under, which is then gonna be 2 rotations of the jump rope for every jump. Basically same form there, you just have to jump a little bit higher off the ground and speed up the rope. But either way, you're either gonna do the 80 single unders or the 40 double unders. Then we're gonna move it into 16 kettlebell overhead lunges. Now we're gonna do 18 lunges on each side, 16 total. So let's start off with the right side. So the first thing, overhead lunge, you're gonna have this kettlebell in an overhead position, and if you have it in your right hand, you're gonna lunge forward with your right leg, so lunge down and come all the way back up. And we're gonna do 8 on this side. Once you've completed 8, you're gonna set the kettlebell down, you're gonna pick it up with your left hand, you're gonna lunge forward with your left leg. So first off, we have to get this kettlebell up overhead. A couple ways you can do that depending on the weight of the kettlebell. If it's super heavy, you can go ahead and just clean this up into the front rack position. So once you've cleaned it up in the front rack position, you can then do a push press by using the power of your lower body and the strength to then press it up overhead. Once you have this up overhead, palms straight up and down. You want to keep this bicep really close to the ear. We don't want this thing waving around up here. So make sure that bicep gets locked in and it's a nice straight line. You have everything stacked on top. You're then going to lunge forward with the right leg. As you lunge forward, keeping that chest up the entire time till that back knee just barely taps the ground. And then you're going to stand fully upright, opening up those hips at the top. We're going to do 8 on the right side. Once you've completed 8 of these, like I said, you're gonna go ahead and pick up that kettlebell with the left arm. You can do 8 on the left arm. Now, you also, to get that kettlebell up overhead, you can just snatch that kettlebell up, which is gonna be one fluid motion all the way down. So going ahead, grab this kettlebell, get in a squat stance, bend down, pick up this kettlebell, and then I'm gonna get underneath it, snatch it all the way up, and then stand it up. Now get myself into position, bicep right close to that ear, everything stacked nicely, and I can lunge from here. Couple things on the lunges. First off, when you lunge forward, make sure that you are lunging out far enough that you have a nice 90 degree here on this front leg, and a nice 90 degree here on that back leg as well. Another thing, you're gonna have this kettlebell up in this front position here, and it's gonna want to pull you forward. There's a lot of movement up there. So, engage your lats, engage your shoulder, keep that bicep close to your ear, and keep that chest up so you're not having a lot of movement and falling forward on there. Another thing is make sure you're not short stepping it. If you short step, you're gonna lose that nice 90 degree angle on that front leg. What's gonna happen is if you short step it, which is you're not stepping out far enough, you're gonna go over this, your knee is gonna go way over the top of your toe, puts a lot of extra strain on that knee, your heel even comes off the ground, a lot of extra added strain on that ankle. So make sure you are stepping out far enough. So once you've completed 16, 8 per side of those kettlebell overhead lunges, now you're gonna pick up that jump rope again, and you're gonna do another set of either the 80 double unders or the 80 single unders or the 40 double unders. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into 12 kettlebell push-ups. Now, kettlebell push-up, not as much range of motion as you would typically get from a regular push-up. However, what this does is it brings your hands in close together, and it's really gonna work the center of the chest. So not as much range of motion, but you're under tension the entire time. And the reason why you're not gonna get a lot of range of motion is because you're not able to go to full depth because of the handle of the kettlebell. Now, I've learned kind of the best way to do this is if you have a kettlebell that has some large handles on it, you can go on the sides like this, and then you're gonna put your chest to the top of here. Or if the handles are kind of smaller like this one, you can put your thumbs in the kettlebell like this, and then your hands are kind of on the sides of that, and that's what I'll demonstrate right now. So I'm gonna get down into a normal push-up position, which is gonna be a plank position, and I'm putting my thumbs in there. Like I said, hands are on the side, but my hands are super close. So what this really gonna do, like I said, is gonna go ahead and really focus on the center of that chest. I'm gonna get back here into a plank position. Since your hands are closer together, you might have to widen up the stance a little bit here on your back feet so you have a little bit more stability. And you're gonna keep those elbows right close to your sides, come all the way down, and then press all the way up. All the way down, press all the way up. This really works the lower part of the chest and the center part. And you're just gonna do 12 of those kettlebell push-ups. After you've completed 12 of those, that completes all the sets and reps for one round of that workout. And like I said, this is a 15-minute AMRAP. So once you finish those kettlebell push-ups, now you're gonna go back up to the top, pick up that kettlebell again, start with the 20 swings, then back to that jump rope again, then the 16 kettlebell overhead lunges, back to the jump rope again, then back to those kettlebell push-ups again, and you're just gonna keep on repeating that same sequence of movements for a total of 15 minutes. All right, guys, that is today's workout. I hope you enjoyed this workout. Like I said, I would love the opportunity also to send out a copy of my free daily workout guidebook. This guidebook contains over 200 workouts in here, plus my daily meal and nutrition plan, plus some other free digital bonuses that I'll send out to you as well. Just visit the link down below or visit jumpropefit.com and I will mail you out a free copy of that. All right, guys, down in the comment section, please show me some love. Let me know what else you want to see, and I will do my best to bring it to you, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow in the Jump Rope Fit Gym.